Well, guys, it's Super Tuesday. This is an exciting day. I have the TV on, and I'm gonna be pretty much checking in like every 5 minutes just to see, just to hear some talk and stuff like that. Now, I still believe Trump's gonna win. I have no doubt about that. What I'm watching for today, I want to see how close it is. Because based off how close it is between Sanders and Biden, that's going to tell me how big Trump's going to win. So, I will be watching. It's literally going to be on. I usually don't, I told you guys this. I really don't have the TV on throughout the day. But today is going to be the day where, it's just going to be on no matter where I am in the house. Okay, so here we go. I want to start with, I think I'm going to start with this Jackie Lacey story. Because, it is Super Tuesday, and, her position for district attorney in LA is up for grabs. She has two contenders, and her campaign really took a hit. It really took a hit. Her husband, here's what happened. Black Lives Matter Black Lives Matter protesters, activists from LA went to her home, and they went to her door. Jackie Lacey's husband came to the door with a gun, and it's on video, and he on multiple occasions points the gun at the protesters, and he says, "Get off my porch, get off my property, go away. I'm calling the police," and stuff like that. Now, it was really, 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 I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this about the Black Lives Matter leaders or activists. I don't know if they're leaders here in LA. I don't know, and I don't really care. They, in my opinion, they didn't have a right to go to his home, to go to her home. They did not have a right. Go to where she works, stay out there, do your business there. Do not go to her home. She has a place where she's accessible. Your home is your private property. I've never been one to think that I would go to a politician's home with a bunch of other people. Because see, here's the thing. Here's what they didn't really think about. It was, you can't see how many of them it is that go to the porch, because all you can see is her husband. And it's not a good look, because it's multiple people on your porch that you don't know, that, they have signs, and it's more of them than there are of you and your wife. I'm going to say this. Between me, if it were me and my wife, and we were at home, and let's say my wife were a politician, I would always be the one to answer the door. That would be me. I'm not letting my wife answer the door. Okay? If I saw this, let me say this. First of all, I have no problem with him going to the door with a gun. I have no problem with that. Because you don't know what the intentions of these people are. Okay? And it's better to be armed than to not be armed. Okay? So I would go to the door and I see this. I don't know if I would point the gun, but I would definitely let them see that I have a gun. And I would tell them, get off my property. If you want to talk to my wife, talk to her at her place of work. Talk to her at her office. You don't come here you don't go to someone's home to do that. People are much more defensive when it comes to their home. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what these people expected. And then the lady who was confronted, Melina Abdullah, she was speaking and she tried to be the victim right there. And she was like, he pointed the gun at me? Yes, he pointed the gun at you. Yeah, you said good morning in a very nice tone, but it's a bunch of you and two of them. No chance. Like, think about it. Would you want someone going to your home to protest? Would you want that? I mean, seriously. I can't think. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. But Jackie Lacey's, her campaign, this really took a hit. I don't know if she's gonna get it here. Cause see, here's my thing. I believe before this happened, I was pretty certain that she was gonna win. Her contenders, George Cascone and that I can't think of the lady's name right now. But I thought she was just the strongest one among them. Cascone doesn't have a great record. I think her name is Rosie. Something Rosie. But, I was pretty confident that she was gonna win fairly big, but now I don't know. I think she's still the favorite. I should say she's still my favorite to win, but it's gonna be a lot closer. I mean, and the thing is, with this being so close to, the event happened really close to Super Tuesday. And you have the visual aspect, and visuals change everything. Cause see, there can be news that happens. There can be news that you hear about, but if you don't really have a visual, you don't quite grasp it. Once you see a video, once you see a picture, once you see those elements, it totally changes your mindset about what happened. If we had heard about this, we'd probably have a different opinion. But here's my thing. I think people are split. I think there are people, I think it may be 50-50. Where some people are saying they had no right to go to her home, and the husband had every right to defend his home, himself, and his wife. Or there's that other 50% who say he didn't have to point the gun at her. She came in a nice tone, but, and he just didn't have any right to do that. I think it's 50-50. But I do think, I do think she's still going to win. I do. But let me say this. If she doesn't win, I'm going to say that it's because of this. That's just my belief. Yeah, this was big. This was really, really huge. All right, so that's it for that story. All right, I'm gonna go on to this. I've never discussed sanctuary cities. You guys know how I feel about that. You guys know how I feel about immigration. And how, if you're going to come into this country, you need to come through the proper channels, go through the proper process, to get in, and things like that. I don't like sanctuary cities. I don't like them. Because they are cities that protect criminals. At the basic level, that's what it is. They are cities who say, you know what, come here, and we will help you. If ICE comes, we won't cooperate with them. These are cities that protect criminals. That's what sanctuary cities are. So there was a man, this is from the New York Post, and this story is sickening. There was a man who was released under sanctuary city rules who sexually assaulted a 3-year-old. His name is Christopher Puente. Supposedly, this is an illegal immigrant. We don't know. An illegal immigrant was released under Chicago's sanctuary city policy only to sexually assault a 3-year-old girl and leave her sobbing for her father in a McDonald's bathroom. Mexican national Christopher Puente, 34, was only in Chicago because cops refused to hold him for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials after he was arrested last year. ICE charged in a statement. He was then arrested last month for allegedly assaulting a 3-year-old after luring her to his bathroom stall while her dad helped her brother in the restaurant restroom. The victim called out, "Daddy, Daddy," Assistant State's Attorney James Murphy told a bond hearing last month, according to the Sun-Times. Puente confessed, telling the cops that he was effed up and thinking dirty. Layton Criminal Courthouse heard, but seemed stunned when he was held without bail for predatory criminal sexual assault, the paper said. This man, any stories that involve kids, sexually assaulting, like she's 3. She's 3. This is not a girl who's a preteen, a teen. No, that's not what this is. This is a 3-year-old girl. Young children. You're 3. You're trusting. You don't really have trust. You don't have trust issues. You see a person, you say, at that age, you see those videos where they say hi to everybody. Hi. My name is so-and-so. My name is so-and-so. What's your name? They talk to everyone. They're trusting. And this man said, oh, here's an easy target. 3 years old in a McDonald's bathroom. Oh God. Okay. I'm going to try to get through this. You don't understand. This is my first time. The supposedly hearing impaired. See, here's my thing. I don't give these people the benefit of the doubt. I don't. Because see, there's a part where it's like, they say, oh, we're just, they're here for a better life. Which that argument is really, I feel like that argument is used to make those who are against illegal immigration, to make those people feel bad. Just say, oh, they're humans, and there's no such thing as an illegal human. It's like, listen, here's what people need to understand concerning immigration that I think a lot of people just deny. People think that deportation, it's almost like there are people who believe that deportation is only something that Americans do. Every single country deports if you go in illegally. That's what happens. If I try to go into Mexico without going through the proper process, I will be deported. That's what happens. And it's just, and I make this example all the time. I make it personal and I scale it down. Am I able, let's say my life just sucks. Let's say I'm a homeless person and I'm seeking a better life. Let's say I'm just wandering the streets and I see your home. And I'm like, they have a home. They've got a fridge. They're eating dinner. Oh, they're eating fettuccine alfredo. That's my favorite. I'm going to go in there and I'm just going to help myself. I go in there. I may have the boldness to just knock on the door, ring the doorbell while it's dinner time. And I go in. The dad opens the door and he's like, "Can I help you?" And I just say, "Yeah, I'm here to eat. I'm here, to live. I'm here to have a better life." And I just go right by him. And I just grab a plate, serve myself, go sit on the couch, and put my feet up on their couch, making a mess. What is that okay if someone does that to your family's home? Anyone who says yes is lying. No one would like that. No one would appreciate that. So what I'm trying to figure out, why are these people I don't understand how you can just support this. They are breaking the law. There are Americans who are unemployed because of these individuals. Because these workers are usually, many times, paid in cash. Especially during the picking season where they pick fruit and stuff like that. They're paid in cash. So, it's off the books and everything like that. But they work for less than minimum wage, often. And they'll do the work and just be like, I don't care, just pay me whatever and, allow me to stay here. No. And see, here's the thing. People that are for strong borders and people that say, okay, we need to, the immigration system needs to be redone. It needs to be fixed. We aren't saying that we don't want any immigration. Who is saying that? What we are saying is, okay, you can't just come in all willy-nilly. You can't just come in how you want, when you want, the way you want. We understand wanting to come to America. America is fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. So we understand that, but we're like, okay, you want to come in? Okay. Go through the proper channels. And we wish you the best. That's what we're saying. These people, they can come in, we don't know who they are. There are people where they can just, they just grab kids and go to the border and say, this is my son or this is my daughter. And they'll get a young looking kid that's like 3, 4, 5, where it's like, okay, well, we have to take the kid because the kid has nowhere to go. The kid can't survive on their own. So they have to take the parent, the quote unquote parent. We don't know who these people are. You have to understand that. It's like we don't know. A lot of them, they have no information. They have no background. They can say what's your name? How are we going to verify their name? How are we going to verify their age? How are we going to verify their past? We don't know anything about these people. Sanctuary cities are horrible. And California has a ton of them. LA, San Francisco, Sacramento. It's just Malibu. It's just wrong, man. I'm back in the article. You don't understand. This is my first time. What? Does that make it any better? What kind of defense is that? Okay, you're a pedophile. You go into court and you say, look, judge, I was messed up in the head. I was thinking dirty. I was feeling horny. But hey, this is only my first time. I haven't done this before. Oh my God, like this is just sick. Puente, who already had a long rap sheet, was deported in 2014, but snuck back over the Texas border just 5 days later. This is what we're talking about. You deport these people, they come right back. That's why, see, here's the thing. Concerning the wall, I don't think the wall is really going to happen. It's too big of a project, and it takes a lot of maintenance and a lot of money. And there's people like Charlie Kirk, where he supports the wall, and he's saying there should just be one entrance. Now, I would say this. One entrance, I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of one entrance because that means that there's one process, and at different locations, there's no chance of it being different. So I would be a fan of just one entrance. I just don't think the wall is really going to happen. Now, Trump has received funding to continue the wall. I just don't see how that's going to happen, though. That is like 1,800 miles. That's an 1,800-mile wall. That's huge. This is ridiculous. These people, they have, I'm not saying all these people are, thieves and robbers and murderers. I'm not saying that illegal immigrants, that they're all like that. I'm not saying that. But there's a lot of them that we don't know anything about. And some of the ones that we do know about, we know that these are not good people. They're not good people. And it's wrong for cities to protect them. See, people, I think people what it is. People don't want to be seen as the villain. Most people are afraid of being portrayed as the villain. Most people have a fear of being portrayed as a bad person. They don't want that. People like to save their reputation, look good in front of people. That's what people try to do. That's natural. I get that. And it's like, if you are against these people wanting a better life and just coming here for a better life, you're a bad person. No, it's called order. It doesn't make us a bad person. We're not saying, well, it's not complicated. What we're saying is, if you come in correctly. There are proper channels that you need to go through. Is it hard? Yes, it is. Is it a long process? Yes, it is. But it's just absolutely ridiculous. Just make it personal. Would you be okay with someone just coming into your home and just using your stuff? Because that's what's happening here. You can't just come in like that. Then they had that argument where it's like, oh, these, some of them contribute to the economy, which is true. Which is that is true. Some of them do. Some of them do work. Some of them do pay taxes. Some of them, when they get here, obey laws. Aside from the fact that they already broke one just coming here illegally, there are people they overstay their visas, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. Agents filed a formal request for him to be detained and ultimately deported when he was arrested for theft last June. So he's a thief also. But the agency says the detainer was not honored, leaving him free for his latest attack. How many more victims must there be before lawmakers realize that sanctuary policies don't protect the innocent? Puente should have been in ICE custody last year and removed to his home country. Instead, irresponsible lawmaking allowed him to walk free and prey on our most vulnerable. Chicago Police Department remains committed to protecting all Chicago residents regardless of their immigration status. Chicago Police said in a statement, "Our pledge to restrict ICE access to our information systems and our refusal to cooperate with ICE immigration enforcement measures has not changed." Now, I want you guys to listen to this next statement and just listen to how stupid it is. Lori Lightfoot, who's the mayor, said that ICE should do their job better. How do they do their job better when you don't cooperate with them? ICE has to work with local law enforcement. That's how it works. It's law enforcement. You're working, there's different branches, there's different levels, but they all work together. That's how law enforcement works. Oh, you need to do your job better. How can I do my job better when you aren't? It's 50-50. I can only do my part. You do your part. We can't accomplish the mission if you don't do your part. Or if your part is opposed to my part. How can I do my job better? They're critical because we have said very clearly we are a welcoming city, a sanctuary city, Lightfoot said. According to the network, Chicago Police Department will not cooperate with ICE on any immigration-related business. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. They should not, sanctuary cities should have to, no, they shouldn't exist. It's a city dedicated to protecting criminals. That at the end of the day, that's what it is. You can't just come in here like all willy-nilly. It doesn't work like that. There's rules and there's order. People have property. People have rights. You can't just come in. You can't just come in. Someone can't just go into your home. It's not this isn't complicated. I don't get it. I don't get it. I legitimately don't understand it. You know, I was looking at Pew Research. They released, yesterday they released, it's called How Border Apprehensions, ICE Arrests, and Deportations Have Changed Under Trump. Now, I want to say this. People say that Trump is evil. I've heard this from many people in various forms, but their argument is Trump is evil because he deports illegals. I don't know if you guys knew this, but in Obama's first term, up to this point, Obama deported way more illegal immigrants than Trump has. If you took the number of days that Trump's been in office and the same number of days that Obama had been in office, Trump is less than Obama. So by that logic, if Trump is evil for deporting illegal immigrants, Obama, by that logic, has to be more evil than Trump. See, no one talked about, they're putting cages. They were putting cages under Obama. You guys, you just don't like Trump. That's what it is. It's just that simple. You just don't like the guy. I encourage you to look at these numbers. It's from pewresearch.org. Just read it. And I'm telling you guys, we talk about these things and this idea that Trump is just this horrible, horrible person, I don't get it. when you look at his policies and you look at the numbers and you look at the results, you see, dang, he's not as bad as they said he was supposed to be. It was almost like if he got elected, they were saying that the world was just like gonna end and that the world would just burn. People are doing better now than they were, 4 years ago or 3 years ago. Trump isn't that bad. I mean, they portrayed him horribly. He's not what they portrayed him to be. Black and brown communities, they're doing better. The economy, it's doing great. I mean, this idea that Trump is just this horrible person, I don't get it. Trump has invested a lot of money into HBCUs. And if you don't know what that term is, it's historically black colleges and universities. But Trump's a racist. Yeah, okay. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I mean, he's so hated. He is so hated. God, man. I mean, I'm going to say this. I think there's a lot more people who secretly support Trump than we think. I really believe that. But if you ask someone on the street, what do you think about Trump? If you say that he's good, that he's doing a good job, or that he's doing a great job, you can be looked at in a horrible light. People will, see you as a villain. And as a racist, it's like, what? No, he's not. I don't get it. Trump's gonna win big, man. All right. I gotta move on because I could stay on this for a long time. But I hate this narrative. I hate this narrative that the media pushes, that he's just a horrible person. That Republicans are horrible people. We just finished Black History Month. And there were a lot of ads on TV, commercials. And every Black History Month, I always learn something that I didn't know before. I learn about different people that I didn't know before. And I learn about, accomplishments and things like that. But there's a lot of things that aren't talked about in Black History Month that people should know. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Democrats, slave owners were registered Democrats. They weren't Republicans. They weren't. You look at, civil rights. Those marches you saw it was a bunch of people marching and being, sprayed with hoses, being attacked with dogs, being hit with bats and sticks and, kicked and punched. You know who those were? Those were Democrats. Republicans did not have... The Republican Party wasn't behind that. Those were Democrats. And what I'm trying to figure out, I remember someone told me that as a Republican that I'm going against my race. And I was just, in my head, I was like, this guy is so ignorant. I was like, if that's really going to be your argument, then really you're going against your race. Look at the history of the Democratic Party. They didn't want blacks to own guns. They were the ones who said, okay, blacks are 3/5 of a person. That was their idea. They were the ones who sprayed us with hoses. Sent dogs on us. Poured hot coffee on us. Those were Democrats. There was a game that was, I think at the earliest it was played in like 1820s, 1830s. And it was called Hit the Coon, or, Hit the Nigger Baby. And this is a real game that used to be played, and it was played up until like the 1940s. So it's fairly recent. And what they would do in this game, they would take an actual a baby, a black baby, and white people would pay money to throw baseballs or rocks, or fruit at the child. This stuff is real. And you want to know who's behind that as well? Democrats. I really just encourage people to just read history. Don't get your history from TV. Read books. Okay, go online, do some digging, do some research. You'll be shocked. Because I think people they just don't know. If black people, because black people, we always talk about, oh, you got to know your history. Yeah, you do. And, based on you being a Democrat and you voting for Democrats, you don't know your history. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's like just do basic research, and if you do it, you'll find a whole lot where you'll be like, oh my God. I'm not saying that there aren't racist Republicans. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, the system of the Democrats. Man, you just don't know. You just don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna move on, because I want to get to. You guys may have seen this Target ad, but it's from this company called The Honey Pot, which is a black-owned business that sells feminine hygiene products. Okay, so this is from NBC News, and I saw this last night, and I knew I had to talk about it. Black-owned business featured in Target ad inundated with racist reviews. A black-owned business was subjected to a wave of negative reviews after the company's founder was featured in a Target ad where she said she hoped success could pave the way for black girls. B. Dixon was featured in a Target commercial called Founders We Believe In, The Honey Pot, where she spoke about how difficult it was for her to start her line of feminine hygiene products. Dixon credited Target for working with her and helping her company get stocked at retailers nationwide. The reason why it's so important for Honey Pot to do well is so that the next black girl that comes up with a great idea, she can have a better opportunity. Dixon said at the end of the ad, "That means a lot to me." Although the ad was originally released in early February, a swarm of people left negative reviews for the company on Monday. Many of the one-star reviews left on consumer review website Trustpilot accused Dixon and Target of discriminating against white people in the commercial. "Boycott the Honey Pot Company and Target. Racist. White people hating comments will not be tolerated," one reviewer wrote. Another review accused Dixon of fueling racism and wrote that she make the statement, for the next black girl, why should the color of her skin matter? Totally racist and inappropriate. Trustpilot issued an advisory at the top of the company's page that said it was suspending review posts while its content integrity team was investigating the unusual influx of reviews, some of which violates Trustpilot's guidelines. Social media users begged others to leave the Honey Pot Company positive reviews after the negative reviews gained attention on Twitter Monday. I support at the Honey Pot Comp. Please go leave a positive review on Trustpilot because white women are leaving nasty reviews about it being racist based off the commercial and have never used the products. One person said, Honey Pot will definitely get more support now. People will be curious about all the ruckus if you never heard of it and want to support black business. Hashtag go buy Honey Pot. Another one said, Honey Pot, a black woman-owned natural hair care line that's sold in Target, had a commercial where they said they want to empower black girls. Now white women are mad and have been leaving them a low rating. Please give them 5 stars. So I just want to know, so the argument here is saying, okay, why are you bringing race into this? Now, I think here's one thing I try to be. If I'm not anything else, I try to be consistent. I think you have to be fair on both. I think you have to be fair on both sides. Because here's the thing. If a white person, now I'm going to ask some questions and I want to know what you guys just think. Okay? If a white person made this commercial and they said, I want to make, the next little white girl's opportunity better, what would happen? There would be a lot of people calling this company racist and the woman racist. That's what would happen. So now there is a black woman who has her own company, great for her, great job. And she said, let me get the quote in front of me. Where is it? The reason why it's so important for Honey Pot to do well is so that the next black girl that comes up with a great idea, she can have a better opportunity. That means a lot to me. Okay. Now, I'm just saying, man, if you're going to say, if one group can do something and it's not racist, and another group can do something and it is racist, you can't have it both ways. You can't, if you do the same action, how can one thing be racist and another one not be racist? You have to be consistent. You have to. It's like this. Let's say, we all know BET, Black Entertainment Television. Let's say, what if white people decided we're going to create WET? W-E-T, White Entertainment Television. Do you know the slack that they're going to catch for that? That would be seen as racist. But people don't see BET as racist. And that's what I don't understand. If Mexicans did it, MET, Mexican Entertainment Television, MET, Chinese entertainment television, Japanese entertainment television,